chemistry students of the wonderful type.
It is the last video in our redox unit. We made them quick for you, but that doesn't mean it's easy. You still got a lot of practice to handle.
Yeah, and there was some ups and downs so far with confidence.
Yeah.
I've seen it, but I've seen it grow, so that's good. Page 26, electrolytic cells. We are going to do you some justice and discuss the electrolytic cell, even though
you don't really see it too often.
No, but I don't want you to get snowballed or sideswiped.
Or complacent in, oh, I don't need to know this. Yeah, right. You need to know it because you got to pass Milk's nice class.
Seriously. So, we know from the previous homeworks that the electrolytic cell is going to be a non-spontaneous reaction that I need electricity. So, I'm looking for
batteries.
You need a battery there and to make it go.
In these pictures, it shows a direct current source.
So that's kind of like a definition for a battery. Okay, but basically, where the voltmeter was or where the light bulb was, there's going to be a battery now. There's your clue. There's your first clue that I'm dealing with an electrolytic cell versus a voltaic cell.
And another giant clue is there is no salt bridge. Notice, this is two separate electrolytic cells in this picture. Each one is in its own beaker. There's no two beakers. There's no salt bridge connecting the two beakers. There's no U-tube upside down. So there is no salt bridge.
Yeah, no salt bridge.
No salt bridge. It's not there.
We tell you that because we want you to be able to recognize one if you see one.
Right.
Okay, and then now basically everything else pretty much is the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The electron's still going to go from the anode to the cathode.
Yep.
Okay, except for now it's going to go from the least reactive metal to the more reactive metal.
And so in that respect, the anodes and cathodes actually have different signs this time.
They switch the signs.
They switch the sign. The electron flow is still the same direction from A to C, anode to cathode.
Always.
But since we're forcing it to go backwards in this sense, we're forcing the charges to actually switch.
Right.
I haven't seen that too often, but it's well illustrated in this picture, so we're going to go with it.
Be there's some reasons why we would do this. Because covering a reactive metal with one that's much less reactive will preserve it, right? Because it's not going to be able to react.
Hey, your motorcycle's got a whole bunch of chrome on it.
Does.
Chrome is chromium, which is very expensive, plated over probably nickel.
Yeah,
something
or some
cheaper, not as shiny.
Yeah, steel. It's probably some sort of
steel. Yeah.
You know.
Steel's really strong.
Can withstand the heat.
Chrome's really shiny.
Right, and I want my motorcycle to be really shiny if I can keep it that way.
Yeah, so you get the strong and the shiny all together when you get electroplating.
Yep.
So it also works with jewelry and silverware.
Sure, and some of us have experienced this, like your finger turns green because you had a cheapy ring on.
Yeah, it was
or your ears turn like blackish green when you put cheapy earrings in.
Right, so that's a scenario where a cheap metal is covered with an expensive metal in a very thin layer that could potentially rub off eventually.
Right.
To make it cheaper. So, if you get a wicked deal on a chain, it might be plated and not solid.
Right, and that solid gold, of course, is going to be more valuable because it's not going to react and it's going to stick around a long time.
Yeah. So the key words that you're looking for is electrolysis, electroplate, plating, reacts with electricity.
They're all part of electrolytic cells, needs electricity.
Now, the purpose of electrolysis of water is kind of cool. It's the 21st century. We're always looking for new fuel sources.
Right. Ooh,
hydrogen gas is extremely flammable when you mix it with oxygen. We're starting a new space race. Who's going to be the first to Mars? Once you're in Mars, how do you produce oxygen for our astronauts to breathe? Well, you bring a bunch of water with you. You zap it with electricity. You get oxygen gas on one side and the one anode. Or one electrode, you get hydrogen gas on the other side.
You got fuel and you can breathe.
So you land a spaceship on an ice cap Mars. You got ice, so you got water, which means you got fuel to make for your trip back.
Right, and oxygen to breathe while you're there.
And oxygen to breathe while you're there.
As far as I remember, oxygen is still important to most of us.
Yeah, it is. So the electrolysis of water is really great. It's a promising fuel source for future space expeditions to Mars, asteroids, comets, all this stuff. It's really important to sailors and submarines because nuclear submarines, they can be underwater for 6, 7, 8 months at a time. Right. Literally underwater for 8 months.
Where they're not bringing that much oxygen with them.
So they take it out of the seawater.
Yeah, they make the seawater into oxygen.
By zapping it with electricity from their nuclear generator on the boat.
Done. And, speaking of done,
So are we with the unit. Oh my goodness.
We had to fly away on that one.
But as you know, homework is just the tip of the iceberg.
No, no. Now you got to do the practice. You got to do the pogles. Please, guys, engage with the castle.
Right.
If you're one of those kids that's been struggling and you're on the brink of maybe passing a test, I've had some students with a really good success. You know what they did? I made them journal every reason why every right answer is right, whether they got it right or not.
In their prep.
In their prep. And you know what? You're going to start to see the major themes of the unit pop out at you, and you're going to start getting better at it.
And it's the fourth quarter. Castle is the way to prepare and pass the Regents exam, as well as our finals and unit tests. So we're going to really be putting the brass tacks to you to make your own review assignments.
Yep.
Demonstrate to us that you're learning chemistry, both this unit and previous units.
Right,
You
we
can
got to start putting
demonstrate
it all together.
your knowledge, and it's really the sky's the limit. You know, you can really crush these grades this last quarter.
Right, seriously. Quick unit, guys. Hope you got enough practice and got good.